Hey, hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Doing good. Doing good.
Hey, thanks for getting me a link to the meeting. I definitely need to get as much coaching on this as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. When I had responded to the email that I got, and then I had to go on and enter a chat with them to ask if you could just join. I didn't know if you would need a specific link or if they have to have certain number of people. So
Right, right.
anyway, I just share the link with you. So sorry, I didn't even
Oh,
think about that.
hey, I'm definitely any way I can get in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Sean, good to meet you. Carrie Bernard.
Hi,
Yes,
I'm with.
nice to meet you both. How are we doing today?
Good, thanks. How
Doing
are
good.
you?
Good. I'm in my professional attire, as everybody can see. A haircut hasn't happened in a couple of months, so that's where the ad comes into play. It's a good cover up. But yeah, how are things going in your guys' end? How's everybody doing amidst quarantine?
Actually, we're doing pretty good. Our clinic, we're seeing patients telemedicine as well as seeing patients in the clinic. So we're definitely, heading in the right direction.
Awesome. That's glad. I'm glad to hear that. So, are your doors open at this time, or what's that kind of look like?
The patients will come to our clinic and they will text us when they arrive. And then when we have a room ready for them, we will escort them from the door to the room. And that way, everybody is, strictly on a one-on-one situation. And so, we keep the number of patients down that way. And that's the only way to get into the clinic, so to say.
Gotcha. So you kind of like a traffic stop, so only so many people can be in at one time,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Gotcha. That's how our stores are around here. It was a little confusing. I went to Home Depot the other day and they said, "Hold on, you can't go in." And literally 5 seconds later, someone walked down and said, "Oh, you can go in now."
Right.
I was like, "Okay." That was a
Okay.
little weird of a phone call. Hold on. No, you're good.
Well, glad you
So
only had to
anyway,
wait 5 seconds.
right, yeah, it could have been so much worse, especially in a place like Home Depot. You go on there for hours not knowing what you're looking for. So,
Yeah.
Right.
uh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I've got your account here for you, and you guys were working with, was it Blythe, correct?
Correct.
On your account? Okay. So we'll do the full setup and training here for you. I've got a recording going, which is just for you guys after the call. I'll send it
Oh,
over to your
bless your
phone.
heart. Thank you, because my rudimentary skills at recording these trainings for the rest of my team is pretty poor. I've got a camera going right now, hooked to another computer to record it, so I know your recording will be better than that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Are you using Zoom with your team, or what are you using when you do your calls with them?
Well, typically I've just been having the team right there with me when we did it. So with Bill, I think we had used one or two Zoom meetings though.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So with your Zoom account, I think even on the free plan, if you go into your settings, and this isn't even close to being split text related, that's fine. You can turn a switch on that will auto record your meetings right from the get go as soon as the host arrives.
Oh,
So
okay.
that way you don't have to record meetings anymore, and you can choose where it records to. Either A, the cloud, so it's just digital, and those self-delete after a period of time. That's what I do. Or you can record them right to your, like a specific folder on your computer, like your desktop or your downloads.
Okay.
So maybe look into that because they don't forget it anymore, and it will record in their quality.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate the hot tip.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's get into the account setup here. For the most time, I'll be looking this way. This is where my monitor is. I've got you guys down here. But so kind of outline the use case here. You guys have you're part of the Medi weight loss group. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay, gotcha. So we've got a lot of Medi weight loss accounts. We don't end up doing a lot of training sessions with them because usually corporate has some sort of a training video they put together. But we do have some from time to time because your use case might vary from a different location. Most all Medi weight losses are just using our service to upload contacts into a specially designed tool that is made just for you guys, which sends out automated appointment reminders. But from what I gathered from Blythe, and I also talked with Jess, who you guys may or may not talk to. She's my other team member here. I just pointed to my basement wall. There's no one in my house. I'm so used to just
Right.
they're over there, but it's just me. So, anyways, Marketing, you guys are interested in doing some marketing with Slick Text?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. We'd like to try to maximize it.
Yeah. So give me the breakdown. What do you want to send out in terms of marketing messages?
So I think that right now we're gathering phone numbers from leads, so people who are interested in the program but have not yet started. So we are looking to market to them, obviously, get them to start the program. And then I'm sure with patients, our past patients who haven't been in the clinic in a year or so, we will be sending out, coupons, different things just to try to get them to restart the program, come back and visit us, that kind of thing.
Okay, got it. And what is the program versus selling product? What is it that you guys are offering in the program?
It's a weight loss. So they come in for nutritional counseling, one-on-one with a counselor, and go over, they kind of tailor a plan for them to lose weight or to hit their weight loss goals.
Interesting. Okay. So again, I don't work with many Medi weight losses, and the ones I've worked with are not. They're probably doing that because you're all the same business, but they didn't ever open that up to me. It was mostly just like, I guess, product sales or aftercare product, if that makes sense, like certain creams or lotions, if that makes sense, or supplements. I could be a little bit off base, but that's the general idea. You've opened an interesting door. I work with this other. No, it's good. It's good. I might actually request from you guys to have a secondary call after this as well, if it doesn't eat up too much of your time, next week, because I think there's a lot we can do with Slick Text based on what you told me there. I work with this other company. They're called Wellery, and they do weight loss and healthy nutritional goals where they help coach people through those types of things. Kind of similar to what you guys are doing. I think there's a difference, but it's more or less the same thing. And what they do is they will upload people's goals, what those are, and their kind of dietary restrictions. So like, hey, I want to lose weight, but I'm a vegan, right? And that puts people into a really unique bucket for what types of content you want to send out, especially if you're sending out like offers and deals. So, hey guys, come in and get X amount off of our protein package, and people are going, well, I don't eat meat, so why did you send me that text, right? Now that's being very specific. But what you can do in Slick Text is you can kind of put people into these funnels, so to speak, such that when they sign up for a program or they sign up to one of your text lists, let's say they go paid, they've talked to someone who's counseling them, and at the end of that internal discussion they have, hey, I'll tell you what, why don't you join this text list here, and it'll walk you through like your first 30 days or your 90 days of the program based on your diet, right? And this is the word you'll text in. Or maybe that person would just put them in manually. We'll discuss that later on. But either way, let me do my screen share here, and I'll kind of get you guys to where my brain is going. This is kind of unorthodox for the training, but I feel like this has opened up a really good idea here. If you go to text words at the top of your account, you've got all these things here, and that's great. I'm just going to set up a new one just for a test for a moment here, and let's just call it Medi Test 1. I guess the first one was taken. And sign up for just alerts and notifications, okay? Now let's say that I'm on a specific program that I've signed up for and I'm paying you guys for. Maybe I paid for the whole thing, so I'm good for the 6 months. Once I join, you could put me through an automated journey called Drip Campaign. A drip campaign is just a message that goes out to your subscribers based on when they join your text list. So if I join today, it might be like, hey, welcome aboard, so great to have you, and this is kind of this is a plan, and this is the person you're talking to's direct point of contact information. And then you might do one after that. So day 1, the day after they've met with that person. Day 1, nutrition list. Maybe you've got some sort of a Google Sheets, Google Docs posted grocery list for these people to do. And again, I don't know how deep you want to get into this, but you could say, here's your day 1 checklist for groceries. Or whatever, supplements, it doesn't matter. Exercise routine, YouTube videos, what you should be getting into. Copy and paste the link in here to wherever you want them to go, and now they've got it. Now, this is kind of off track here, but we do have to give you guys the option to shorten links in Slick Text, so your links don't take up all of your characters in the text message. all I did there is I took the link, I pasted it in, and this pops up automatically. I didn't do anything special. You just hit yes. I'll get into this secondary pop-up later on, and it would look like that. So imagine being able to, for people who paid, put them through an automated journey for the first X amount of days, or for the entire campaign completely automated, which could do everything from exercise routines, dietary, nutrition, grocery lists, products they should be buying from you guys, right, on a regular basis. So, hey, by now it's been 30 days, you should be out of XYZ. Here's a coupon to buy
Nice.
the next
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, because basically a lot of our products are a month at a time, so to say. Like you said, you could have that, hey, it's day 28. Don't forget you need to, order new inner balance or whatever. So,
Yeah, it's great.
Right. Exactly. I think that would work really well for the people that are paying. And you guys have a couple different groups of people, which is why I think we might want to have a couple different calls, but it might be good to perfect each group as we go along, because you got, as far as I can tell, you got 3 or 4 different groups of people. And correct me if I'm wrong. Group number 1, though, or how my mind is working on this, is group number 1, people who are paying customers who are also in a nutritional program. Group number 2, people who are paying customers who are not in a nutritional program. Maybe they just buy things from me or get one-on-one care once in a while. Group number 3, interested parties. They've shown some interest. You could also label them as being leads. So I guess 3 and 4 kind of the same. Lead. Might want to just tie those 2 together. So current paying on like the highest level, somewhat paying, and leads. And you want to address each one of those groups differently.
correct.
Right?
Yeah.
You want to give the leads kind of the best deal because you want them to convert on your brand. And for the people that are in the nutritional programs, I hate to say it, but you can give them the worst deals because they're already locked in, so to speak. And not that you want to shaft them, you want to give them good deals and everything, but you don't need to give them the 40% off deal to get them in for the first time. They're good with 10% off, 15% off, stuff like that.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on all that? Because that's not where my brain was going when I got on the call here, but it's where it took me.
That sounds like you have a pretty good grasp of our program. Our program is a medically supervised weight loss program. The patients who are acute patients have to come to the practice once a week because they will be, or at least most of them will be on a prescription appetite suppressant. And our policy and procedure is only to give these patients a script for 1 week at a time. And so essentially they have to come on a weekly basis to get that script. But of course, in that weekly visit, they're not just getting a script, they're also getting dietary counseling, they're getting body fat analysis performed. So it's a comprehensive medical assessment every time they come in. There are supplements which will aid their endeavor to go along with the framework, within the framework of their diet. Again, it's a very structured, multifaceted dietary program that's under the supervision of physicians, nurse practitioners, registered dietitians. We do, as you mentioned, though, have patients who were in the program, lost the weight they wanted to lose, and now are no longer in the program, but still come in to buy supplements. For lack of a better way to put it, we have lots of frequent flyers, so those people are most likely going to gain the weight back, or at least a portion of it that they lost. And so we would like to be still, sending things out to them, because maybe now they've been in quarantine and they've gained some weight and they haven't really thought about, coming back to the program. But boom, if we hit them with the text right when they're kind of at a weak moment, when they've, just busted out of their sweatpants or whatever the case may be, maybe we re-engage that person and get them back into the acute phase for weekly visits at our practices. So, those 2 points that you mentioned right off the bat, are definitely, right in character with our program. And then, of course, the leads, potential patients that heard about us running our new ad campaign or whatever the case may be, or looking for something more than a strip mall Jenny Craig program. Those leads, would probably be very interested in some of the things that you brought up.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to beat that quarantine 15, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the hashtag going around online now.
Yes,
So,
yes, and it's very true. It is very true.
So let's talk about these different groups. For leads moving forward, I think that'll be the last one I'll address, and we might have to save it for the next call. So for leads moving forward, we need to get those people opting into your text list compliantly and automatically. So if you're using like Facebook lead pages, there's a tool you can use called Zapier, Zapier, which would take people who fill out web forms on other softwares, and it can opt them into Slick Text automatically and compliantly. That's the big thing here. So while you do have permission to upload your contacts today from our compliance review team, part of the training session is to make sure that moving forward, any new contact information you gain, they opt into your text list consensually and compliantly, which essentially means in a court of law, if a judge was to ask you guys, where's your proof of consent that this person is enabling you to text them? You could turn around behind us and say, Slick Text, what do we have? And we can pull the electronic record. When you upload contacts, we have no record. We're trusting that you guys have something in your database to text these users. And in doing so, we kind of wipe our hands clean, right? Because we can't keep your records for you, if that makes sense. Unless you go the electronic route, where people text in to join. They sign up via what's called API, so integrations between Facebook lead pages or Gravity forms or something like that with Slick Text. We also provide for you under marketing tools opt-in web forms that you can place right onto your website or even on social media. So if you click Manage Web Forms here and create a new one, and I'll help you build out one of these once we kind of have a more fully formed game plan of what we want to do. But you can have people pop their information here. Let's capture some good pieces of information. They fill it out, click this consent checkbox, and when they do, they've joined your text list compliantly. We will tell you down to the minute when they opted into your text list. And also, if they go to opt out, we keep the opt out records and remove them automatically. That's a big piece that a lot of services don't provide, though it seems like it should be obvious. So that's goal number one for any new leads once we get to that point. In terms of uploading contacts, the first thing to discuss, and I'll be writing an action plan for you, so things you guys will want to do after the call. Once we determine how we're going to upload it and what people go into what groups and stuff like that, we'll want to place in the first message you send out to them a message including your business name and the statement reply stop to cancel, so they know how to remove themselves from the text list. Any other content is up to you. You can still put like a promo code to supplement in there if you wanted to. That's totally fine. But they do need to be made aware of, hey, we're kicking off a VIP list. This is who we are. Medi Weight Loss, your location. And reply stop to cancel, so now you know how to get off of the text list. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that lead in, that VIP lead in. That's hot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. You can refer to them all as being VIPs. You can call it a text club, text members, insiders club. Really, the verbiage is up to you. It's whatever matches up best with your brand. So just kind of work on the verbiage offline, and then we can piece it all back together. But there's no right or wrong way to call people what you want to call them.
Right.
Well, there's definitely wrong, but there are multiple right ways.
Right.
My mind want to say a million things there, but I refrain because we're recording the call today. Okay, very good. So why don't we start piecing together a little bit of strategy? The way that I'm envisioning this call is let's review all the functionality in Slick Text. I'll give you guys about a week to talk, mostly because I'm booked out for the rest of the week. So we can reconvene on, say, Tuesday of next week.
Okay,
and we'll
sounds
start
good.
putting all the pieces in place. So I think functionality review would be a good call for today. What are your guys' thoughts?
Agreed.
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay. Just making some notes here. Okay, great. Let's talk through the whole opt-in process. Somebody texts to join your list, or somebody opts in via the web form, or through that Zapier thing I told you about. When they do, they're going to get this auto reply. I'm going to work off the test one for now. The auto reply here. If they were a lead, it'd be good to give them a great deal. But how do we know if they're a lead or not? Pretty easy to define that. We're going to know if they're a lead or not when they join your text list because you guys are able to upload contacts. They're going to be able to upload everybody who's not a lead. Because they're uploaded, nobody that's already in your text list can text in to join to get whatever this offer is. So if the offer is really good, but you want to say, yeah, but we don't want to give away 50% off the program to people who have been in it for 3 years, right? No problem. They can't get this text message if you've uploaded them. So I saw you wrote it in a different text word here, but again, just for internal testing. Thanks for joining the Medi weight loss. Is it one word or two?
It's technically
2
two.
words. Weight
Yeah.
loss is 1. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'll learn to spell someday. Thanks for joining the Medi weight loss VIP list. Receive 50% off your first, and you're going to call package or supplement buy for joining, right? And because you guys are still in-house, which is great, you can do what's called a mobile coupon here. Redeem and insert a digital coupon, which prevents them from abusing the offer. Now, they won't abuse the offer on package deals like I'm signing up for the 30-day, 90-day, whatever program, right? But they probably would use it on supplements. And that's actually really easy to do because one day you two could be working at the front desk and the next day a different employee is. And that's all it takes to abuse the offer, right? So we'll save the auto reply here. We're going to come back to it. Marketing tools, mobile coupons. To be very clear in everything I'm showing you, none of this is going to cost you anything extra. It's just all included in your plan. So feel free to use it. And once we got one going here, I'm going to build a new one just so we can kind of go through all the steps to make sure there's a full understanding. Always name your coupon explicitly because you will probably do multiple coupons as time goes on. And the system is just going to keep a running checklist. So if your coupons are all named $5 off, $10 off, you're not going to know what's what in a couple months. So auto reply here. So this goes in the auto reply to that one text word and it's 50% off. Say, well, let's do supplement for now. This seems to be more relevant to the whole offer abuse thing. Only allow 1 redemption per person. This option right here alone being turned on will stop them from abusing your offer. Put an expiration date in? Absolutely. Now, in most industries, I'd say don't give them more than like 7 to 10 days to redeem an auto reply offer because that's usually like the reason why they joined. They should buy it sooner than later. But amidst COVID and you guys needing people to go in store right now is kind of the bigger sell. You might need to give them a little bit more time so they can make those appointments to actually get in to buy those things.
Agreed.
So 30 days might be good, 14 days might be good, whatever you feel is right. Coupon colorway, I changed it to black just because it's universal. You can totally change it. Just make sure you do so once you've got the right image here uploaded. To be very clear, our mobile coupon is not a picture message. You're not being charged for data fees for using it. Technically, it's a link they click on, which goes to a web-hosted, slick text-hosted coupon. So the header here, we go to Medi weight loss VIP list, and down here you can upload an image. Now, if either of you are marketing or if you're not, I guess I should have asked your position. What is it that you guys do?
Well, I'm the practice manager for Medi Weight Loss Clinic in Glen Allen, Virginia.
And I do a lot of the social media and other marketing stuff for Virginia and North Carolina clinics.
Gotcha. You're the one I want to talk to then.
Yeah.
So have you ever heard of the
Carrie did a lot better job with explaining the program. I was like, oh, counseling, blah, blah, blah.
Right, absolutely. No, yeah, I just want to show you specifically this website because if you do the media, and maybe you already know it, but if you don't, have you heard of unsplash.com before or no?
I've not.
Write it down. It's going to be your favorite website, I think, moving forward. Aside from having your own brand photos from corporate, stock photos and whatnot, this is a great way to find royalty-free, high-resolution photos. Now, there's a couple different websites out there, but I prefer Unsplash because I'm used to what I'm used to.
Right.
And if you guys are curious as to why that is, it's because people who are no-name photographers are trying to make a name for themselves. So in hopes of you, like, tagging their name or giving them credit, they put their photos online for free. Now, what you could do in here is you could put something like the word workout, look for something generic, right? And use any one of these images for free inside of your coupon or any of your social media advertisements, right? It's not split text specific. For the coupon, take a look at this. It's a little bit wider than it is tall. Try to match that format as best as you can because otherwise people are going to be scrolling through their coupon to get to the next part of it. So Let's keep it simple. I like this one a lot, actually. Kind of that farmhouse style floor.
Oh, that is nice.
Best place to work out, I know. And we'll go ahead and find the downloads folder here. Upload it. And there we go.
Nice.
So I usually recommend you upload your photo first, then change the coloring to make sure it kind of matches, right? Offer here, 50% off supplements, right? Keep that short and sweet. This is not the if you buy so many or more. This isn't the must show at checkout. That's the short and sweet because that's what shows up the largest thing text-wise on the coupon. Here you would say, kind of reiterate it, receive 50% off any supplement purchase. It's up to $50, right? If you wanted to, whatever you want to say, I'm just going to keep it generic. Must show this coupon at checkout to redeem. May not be used on clearance. Something like that.
Okay.
Scroll down a little bit. In here, we'll put redeem now. I'm sorry, was there a question?
No.
Okay, perfect. And then I've got a 5-point boilerplate fine print that I'll throw into here, which you can clone all of my work from this coupon moving forward, so you guys actually don't have to recreate this. But the kind of 5-point boilerplate, I'm just going to type it. It's too much to rattle off. You hear pounding. I have children. They're upstairs. I can hear them.
Mine are outside right now with Dad.
Oh.
So they'll probably be coming back in soon, and you'll probably hear screaming. So forewarned.
Hey, that is.
I was like, please try to be quiet when you come back in.
That is okay. I just need the information. I don't mind pushing out the background noise.
Yeah.
Right. So here's your 5-point boilerplate. I'm sorry, because it's pounding. But limited to 1 per person. Can be combined with other offers, expires in 30 days, and then yada all the way through. We're reiterating they must show it at checkout a few times. So it's here, it's in the auto reply. We're going to show it at checkout. That's 3 times. When they click redeem now, it's going to give them a pop-up that says, hey, are you sure you want to redeem this right now? You have limited time once you proceed. So we're kind of giving 4 clear directions like, hey, are you in the right spot when you're doing this? Because it's the same thing as me taking a paper coupon and ripping it in half before I get to the grocery store, right? So that's why we're trying to really say, hey, it's not Medi weight loss's fault because you redeemed it when you're on your couch. Okay, hyperlinks here. I'm going to skip over this just for the purposes here of the call-in time. I'll put in the SlickX phone number here. But essentially, you just put in your location's information, Facebook page. If it's just one single location, you can put in your Google Maps link here. And when they click on this icon, it will actually load Google Maps in their phone and take them right to you using GPS, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Very cool.
The resting screen, we're just going to reiterate again, must show at checkout to redeem the code. The code only matters here if the code matters to you. If you ask me, hey, does this code matter? That already tells me the code doesn't matter to you. It just matters that the POS system needs to track the code to verify, hey, X amount is being taken off. Well, what's that code? It's whatever we put here. If you're going to do a manual override or from like your touch screen with the POS system, you just click like a 50% off, then just do that as normal. And the code we'll put here, I'll just make it up. I usually make it up like this. AR, which stands for auto reply, it's where they got this coupon from. That's the text they got. And then 50% off. Easy as that. And then you only want to give them X amount of time to be on the screen. Usually 10 minutes is just fine. Otherwise, they can screenshot this page. That's the big thing. Regardless of if they keep their phone open or not, this timer is not based on how long they've been on the screen. It's actually based on the exact time that they had opened this screen. So what that means is that this timer is kind of more like it's kind of like a moving picture, if anything. It's not a real timer. It's just going to move to 0 after 10 minutes based on when it was opened. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Perfect. And create a coupon here. So from here, what we're going to do is text words, options, and settings. with the coupons, all you do is you click on insert mobile coupon right here and just insert the right one. Just like that, and hit save. So that's the whole use of the coupon. Moving forward, you can go to options, manage coupon, clone, and you just change out the subject, right? Change out what's the deal, what's the image going to be. When you clone, I do highly recommend change out the image every single time. Even if you use something from a couple months back, that's fine. Don't be boring though, right? Don't be boring to your subscribers. They'll notice it's the same thing, and they'll get the trend of, oh, it's Medi weight loss. Oh, it's Medi weight loss, right? The image speaks volumes, especially because the other thing you can do in here is if you go to giphy.com, Giphy, yes, you can include GIFs in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's think about like the birthday, for example. My favorite one is always this one here. I'm Giphy. Just hover over my paperclip icon, click on it, and then just paste it in. There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's an eye catcher.
It is. It is. And there's no additional cost to using it because it's still web hosted, not an actual picture. Right. So let's have you both text them to join so you can see what that looks like live on your phone. Go ahead and text Medi test 1 to the numbers 31996. 31996.
Okay, I see it at the bottom there.
Did you guys receive that text back to your phone okay?
I did. Or I did. Yeah.
Perfect. So if you've got it, you can go ahead and click on the link to the coupon there. You probably have already done that. You'll see what the gift looks like on your phone. Of course, if the image had been in there, it would load the image instead, of course. And from there, what we can do here is we can actually track the number of redemptions to match it up against your POS system.
Oh, wow. Okay.
By default, we need to make sure that the Slick Text redemption rate is equal to or higher than your POS system. If our system's coupon is lower than your POS system, what that means is that your employees are giving away coupons to people who do not have a coupon available in Slick Text, right? And I'm not suggesting anything one way or the other, but it's the fact of the matter. So, yeah, the reason why you have more redemptions in Slick Text versus your POS system, though, would be somebody could redeem this coupon while they're at home on their couch, right? And then it's redeemed. We can't tell they didn't go into your store. It's redeemed. But it didn't actually get used. So yeah, that's the mobile coupon. Are there any questions on it?
No, I like that. I just got it on my phone too. So yeah.
Looks great.
Perfect. Okay, so from here, again, just for internal testing, because you might want to bring this to additional team members before our next call, just kind of like collab on what you want to do. I'm going to set up a drip campaign that will go out 2 minutes after you guys joined. Actually, I'll do 3 minutes because I think we're a little bit behind. Or I'm behind on doing this. 3 minutes, we'll just do grocery list. So hypothetically, right, they've joined the text list, they've been in program, now they're getting their grocery list for the first time. And we'll say, hey there, here's your grocery list for your new diet. And I'm just going to put google.com in here. And we'll have this go out 0 hours and 3 minutes after somebody joins. Just to make
Sean,
sure you.
How do you get to the drip campaigns?
Sure.
Like how do you get to that window? I'm not finding it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Textures, options, settings.
Got it.
Got it.
And then drip from the inside.
I missed those clicks. Thanks.
No problem. I'm going to put it to 4 minutes because I think I missed the time frame for one of you there. But you'll both get a text message here in a little bit with that drip campaign message. Okay. So again, you can build those out as far out as you would like with those drips over X amount of days. So once you develop your game plan, you know the content, you can pretty much take it from there. Yep. Okay. Let's talk about some of the more advanced stuff in slick text, like putting people into the right groups or getting them the right drip campaign messages based on which dietary plan they should be a part of, right? For this portion, I'll tell you right now, it's going to be a little complicated with people who are currently in dietary plans to determine where they should be and get that where into slick text. It's much easier if people all start from like day one of a given plan as opposed to like, hey, this person was on day 33. How do we start them there? I might be able to do that, right? Just kind of a forewarning. I'm not sure if I can start mid-plan on somebody. But let's say, for example, that we're talking, we've got another text set up here, and we're going to have somebody be on a weight loss program. So you guys get the text word weight loss, and I'll put a 1 here after it. We might change the number on your account to see if we can free up some text words. We'll talk about that later. But we have multiple numbers you can use, not just 31996. Your list is still relatively small compared to what you plan on doing. So making a switch now versus later would make a lot more sense, but we'll determine that next call. So anyways, weight loss here, they're going to go through a series of messages. We're talking, I'm the person who's helping you. You're looking to lose weight. What I might do is, hey, do you want to join a text list? Actually, it's part of our program. It's free. It's built in. It's brand new. I'd highly recommend doing it. It's going to help keep you in check. And of course, you say, yes, that sounds great. A text message every day or a couple a week. So all of your team members could have a slick text web form up saved in their browser, right? Create a web form here. And what you'll do is you'll have a web form assigned to each, say, program type or some overlying factor like weight loss versus weight gain versus muscle build versus dietary nutrition, right? Something along those lines. Something to separate them all, basically. And for now, we'll just do weight loss. Right. Let me put test up here. Weight loss. Okay. Now the form field is still just showing the person's information, right? So let's do first, last name. Let me get your email and all that. But what else should we put in here? Because within trying to lose weight, there might be some ulterior things that you need to know about the person to put them down the right path. And please stop me if I'm wrong. This is just where I thought this was going. Again, let's think about dietary restriction. So if somebody is, what is it when you eat everything? If somebody eats everything versus somebody who doesn't eat meat versus somebody who's vegan, those are kind of the main 3 things. Keto's kind of risen up a bit as well. So you might have different grocery lists and plans and drip campaign series. They all go down based on that. But they're all on the same goal, which is to lose weight. Does that all make sense?
Yes.
Okay. What you'll see here is there's not a field of information you can turn on that says, well, hey, what dietary plan are they on, right? So you can make your own fields in slick text. Just open up a new link here, go to text words. For any given text word, you can go to options and settings. Left-hand side, custom fields, right here. Set up a new one and just call it diet type, right?
So, 1 second. So essentially, since our program is a medically supervised program and insurances pay for it, we could even create a field on a form that says include your insurance group number and things like that.
Sure.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
For you guys, you probably want to use that to export the data because that really won't do anything to help you accomplish anything in slick text specifically. But if you export the data, you could update whatever CRM you have. We could use that to self-identify or put people into groups to see like, well, how many people are using, I don't know, Blue Cross Blue Shield or Medicaid or whatever.
Right.
You could do that in slick text. But I could be wrong. I doubt there'd ever be a time where you need to send a mass text to everybody who has Medicaid, for example. But maybe, because there could be an update to the insurance policy that affects all those people. So I don't know. Absolutely, you could do that.
Well, the reason I was thinking... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Carrie, we have the Google Drive form that has all of that information in it that they can fill out. So we could include a link in the text message that goes to them, so that if they're interested in the program, they could click on that link and fill out that information, so that we have their group insurance number and all that kind of stuff. So then that way we can go and verify their benefits.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I was thinking because, shoots, with the COVID-19 outbreak, a lot of the insurance companies have waived anything out of pocket for telemedicine visits, and I was thinking that we could potentially tie that into this so people would be aware of it.
Yes, and if it's literally anything, or if it's just going to be, say, service related but not product related, I'm not sure because I'm not in your industry. You could try to hit them hard for coupon offers now versus in a month. Now, I don't know if COVID's going to end. I'm in the party of belief that's just if they're going to keep tacking on extra time as we get closer to it. I don't know. But I'm also in New York State. So we have the heaviest restrictions so far of anybody I know,
Right.
As far as I know. But yes, you can have extra custom fields, right? So
wow. We can figure that out later. Just the fact that we can customize those fields, that's a deal maker right there.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And actually gets a little bit better as well, because here we turn on diet type, right? So it appears it's R1. That's just because it's the first variable field you made in the form. Of course, you can change the title, right? Click on the purple gear icon and just call it diet type. Yeah, I'm sure you guys trust your team members to the moon and back. But how many of your team members have ever spelled something wrong? Ever.
Right.
All the time, right? Texting in vegan or anything else, VEGIN, right, would put somebody into a completely separate group as VGAN. So along with like insurance provider types, dietary types, allergies, if you want to do something like that, click on the purple gear icon, field select options here.
Ooh,
right?
Good. Yes.
And you can just type in like none or no restrictions. Maybe that's what none means here, right? And vegan. I don't know why I'm blanking all the different diet types. Keto. Vegetarian, that's one I forgot.
Yeah. Dairy free is a good option.
They could have a million things.
Yep. Our program is kind of a keto program in a way.
In the initial stage, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I have to keto for a little bit, not to make this about me, but I found that when I cut out all sugars, it was a lot easier for me to drink things that had like the replacement sugar, as opposed to like if I drink a diet pop right now, but I didn't cut out the rest of the crap always, the aspartame or whatever fake sugar stevia, it made me feel sick. But
right.
when I cut it all out and I drank only the fake stuff, I felt fine, totally fine.
Right.
So anyways, here's your drop down then. And it just makes it easier for your team rep to choose the right thing, to put people in the right group, no room for spelling errors. And you could, if you took the time, put all the medical insurance providers here as well.
Sure.
Yep, absolutely. The rest of this form here really comes down to editing options. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. You can put your logo at the top, call it the VIP list, whatever you want to do. Confirmation page, once they hit submit, they'll just tell the person, I would tell you, right, you're the patient or the client, I'd say, hey, you're going to get a text message to your phone right now. If you could just go ahead and reply back yes to that, it's going to start putting you through your 90-day program texture, right, or however you want to state it. Here's that text message. You need to brand it, right, because without branding, if someone's phone is dead and they get this, they're going to go, who is this weird text from this weird number? So to complete your subscription to the Medi Weight Loss VIP program, simply reply the word yes. Form styles gets into the editing. What does it look like? This part literally largely does not matter because your team members are the only ones who are using this form. You can make other versions of this form as well. That would go on, say, social media or tablets once you guys are back and doing conventions and whatnot. That would be customer facing or lead facing. But if it's going to be just your internal team, make it nice if you want to, but it doesn't matter. And then just hit save. That's it. That's your form. So we go back to view forms here. Go to option, get form link. Copy it. Open it up. What's probably advisable for your team once we have a developed game plan is to title these as like weight loss program, big bold letters at the top. That way, if they accidentally open up the wrong one, they're not putting people into the wrong program, right? Because they'll have a couple of them saved in their browser. They can name them appropriately, but depending on the number of tablets or computers you have, somebody's probably going to do it wrong, right? I work in software and use wrong all the time, so it's great. So, any questions on the web form now?
No.
I don't think so.
That was worth the price of admission right there.
Perfect. And you're getting 2 passes as well. Not too bad. Let's talk about segmenting, and then we'll take on some questions. I know we're coming to an end unless you guys have some extra time. I actually don't have a 2 o'clock meeting today, so that's up to you. So let's pretend that you did fill out the web form here, right? Terry, this is your number here, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's his.
Yep.
It's not mine.
I made the web form for the other number, however. So let's show you what this would look like here. I'm going to opt you in.
Oh, shoot. Did I not opt in?
No, you did, but I made
okay.
a web form for
Got it.
Word completely. So you're going to be in the weight loss program just so you can see what it looks like, right? So you plug your information in here, Kerry, correct?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. And we'll leave the email blank. You can choose it when the time comes. You are going to be dairy-free, okay? We'll send this out to you, sign up, and you should get a text to your phone right now to reply back with yes. Now, the form is going to reset as well, which is really key. It just reset on its own because when you guys are at conventions or events, you want it to reset without, give me the tablet back. I've got to fix this, right? For each next person who comes to your table as a lead. Okay, perfect. And then, Wendy, what is your phone number?
704-756-3483.
Okay, and you're going to be Keto.
Got it.
Okay, great. All right. Carrie, did you get that text to your phone okay? Were you able to reply back yes to that?
No, I haven't got it yet. Oh, I'm sorry. Now it did. It just literally as I was saying that.
Oh, perfect. Better late than never.
I think he was upset about being dairy-free.
That's really funny. I had a bowl of ice cream for breakfast the other day. Okay, so you're both in the program, right? But you're not both going to be in the same exact program, even though you have the same end goal. And maybe that's what we use to define what group you belong to. So from here, option, segments. This will kind of be the last feature I'll review, and then we'll take on some questions. Segments just helps you to identify a subgroup of people where that group of people have something like in common. For example, these people are all dairy-free. They all the favorite color of red.
Right.
Their birthdays are all equal.
Right.
Segment here, dairy-free. This is just a title for you. Call whatever you want. Hey, split text. Of the 2 contacts here, give me everybody where their diet type is dairy-free. Save. Okay, let's make another one, right? Maybe do diet type keto. So a couple different ways as to how you can label your segments here. Same thing, diet type is keto. Back to segments. Now again, I'll give you 2 options for how you might label these. I personally, because I like to explicitly label things, I'm more of a fan of this type. That's your call. But now you'll see you each kind of fall into a different category. To be very clear, segmenting in split text is not like you take somebody out of the main group. This is like you cut the pie into 8 slices, but you left it all still there so you can see each definitive group, but they're all still part of the whole whenever need be. So at this point,
we could send all the segments the same text when we want to, but then we could also just target one segment.
Wow. That's killer. That is really nice.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Absolutely. So the 2 things you'll end up using segmenting for largely, and you'll probably come up with non-traditional ideas as well. One is going to be, of course, sending a mass text. Maybe there's going to be a supplement clearance sale for things that are just strictly diet-free related, right? Diet-free, dairy-free. I'm already diet-free as it is, so I meant to say dairy-free.
Right.
Dairy-free, and we'll say 50% off items. Hey, Split Text, everybody's in the weight loss group, but specifically if they are dairy-free. Now, here's what we have in Split Text, what's called merge tags. Since you're going to be manually putting in your program users' information into Split Text, either upload or what's more traditional is the web form moving forward for opt-in legal compliance, we will get their name. So, hey, so-and-so, we are offering 100% off all of our, I should put 50% at the top or whatever, all of our dairy-free supplements. Buy now. Insert mobile coupon, you're good to go. So I'm going to send this text out to your phone, and then I'll send another one over for the keto as well. And I'm going to put test up here so we know it wasn't a real thing. And going to clone this here. It's the same thing, but we'll just do keto. And there we go.
Man, that's nice. It's personalized and everything like that. That is nice.
Very cool.
Patients will eat that up.
Yes. And personalization is going to help you guys as you upload contacts as well, because it won't make it seem as forward. Hey, I know you. We're just kicking off a text list here. If you want some great coupon offers, feel free. If not, no harm, no foul, right? The fact of the matter is, your ultimate goal, yes, the uploads are nice, and that will be a good revenue generator, but really your goal is to make sure that everybody who steps foot in the doors moving forward will be opted into the text list in some way, shape, or form. If they're not in the program, they just go onto the overall Medi weight loss text word for just general health, nutrition, supplement items, and maybe the occasional, hey, do you want to join a program? It's 25% off, right? But then for the people in the programs, they'll specifically get these messages just pertaining to them, their needs, the person they're working with as well. So I'm trying to think if there's any other way you might do this. The only other question I had now that I'm thinking about it, because there's so many layers we can peel back here. If I have a program with you guys, do I get a rep? Is there somebody I talk to with any of my questions I have? Or is it just kind of a, here's your program, do what you have. If you have some questions, you can call us, but you don't have a rep.
Well, essentially, since they come in every week, if they had questions, they would talk to the registered dietitian or the nurse practitioner about their specific questions. But they could, reach out to the clinic if it wasn't their weekly visit or whatever, and ask any questions they would have, and we would put them in touch with who would be the best contact to answer their question.
Okay, gotcha. So let's go back one more layer and decide if you want to do this or not. There's no additional cost to doing it. You can invoke two-way communication inside of your text program. So if you wanted each one of your team members to lead their own group of people who they work with specifically, so I would not be on the weight loss text list. I would be on the carry text list, right? And then from within that, you would just make your segments identify people based on two pieces of criteria. So instead of just what dietary restriction do I have, it's what dietary restriction do I have, but also what type of program am I in? So you can segment people based on multiple sets of criteria. If you wanted to go that route, you could supply each one of your team members with their own text word, which gives them their own contact list with two-way communication, all on their own 10-digit phone number. So it seems like it's personalized conversations back and forth if they need it. That's up to you.
Wow. I mean,
how do you control that patient that wants to send you 15 texts every night about whether or not eating steak and broccoli is okay? Carrie?
Well, I mean, I definitely see that side of the coin as well, but I also see some opportunities for it too.
Yeah. I think that'd be really beneficial their first week on the program because it's the toughest. Because I know here in Charlotte, a lot of times we would reach out to patients on day 3, day 4, just to see how they're doing, because usually that's the hardest 2 days, right? Where they're coming off the sugar crash, that kind of thing. So I could definitely see it being beneficial that first week, but I wonder how many patients would take advantage of it.
We could ponder that.
Yeah.
I think they would take advantage if you do the drip campaign. That's what Wellery is doing. That's the other company I told you about earlier in the call. Because of the drip camp, they might be going one step too far, which is perfect for their business, but too far for you guys. As part of their drip campaign, they're literally having people text back images of what they're seeing, right?
Jeez.
To make sure they're in the program.
Right.
Now, that's real dead stuff, though. It's like, hey, let's make sure you're in line with this. So you got to cook your food. You got to kind of send back all the pictures, send back kind of like the stuff you bought, because they want to make sure, hey, you're paying for the program. The only way that a company like you guys or Wellery benefits is if the person's actually doing the program, right? Because that's the only way they actually see the results. They don't pay for the program, they pay for the results, and the program is what gets them there. So if you want to go that route, the inbox here would allow for two-way communication. Your team members would only have access to their group of people who belong on their text list, see those inbound messages. You guys would maintain an overarching notification. You can see everything. And we have an app for Slick Text that your team members can download. So that way, if they want to just kind of keep in touch with the inbox, they could do so just during work hours is fine, right? And then if there's a new one during the day, they can get a push notification for new inbound messages. There is no cost to inbound texting with Slick Text. So they can send you guys 15 text messages. We will cover the cost on all of them. It's only going to deduct from your allotment if your team member replies back. So anything outbound, dinged from you. Anything inbound, we pay for.
Gotcha.
Well, it's still a nice tool that, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think how we could rope it in, so to say, but still, I mean, maybe if we ponder it for a bit, we can figure out a way, because nobody else out in our area I know has anything like that. I mean, the fact that we are a medically supervised weight loss program, you know, we're the only game in town in Metro Richmond anyway, and if we could have, you know, some of these extra levels of care, I mean,
We'll set you apart. Absolutely.
Oh my Lord, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no pressure to get this set up now versus later, because all you need to do is, if you decide 3 months from now that you do want to have the two-way communication, it's as simple as going here and turning it on. And in terms of how it would work with like your user flow, it's as simple as one day when you turn it on, just say, hey guys, we just enabled two-way communication. Send us back pictures of from time to time or questions, right? Yada, yada, yada. Or edit your drip campaign content. So once a week, just say, hey guys, take a picture of your grocery list this week so we can see if you're doing what you should be doing.
Right.
I think there's a way that you could do it. It's just sorting through what's the best one. That's about it.
And do you know what our monthly limit is off the top of your head? Or do you have access?
I don't, but now I do. It's 3,600.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Of course, the goal of Slick Text at the end of the day, two things: have good customer relationship, and then also profit, right? Got to be a service that makes you guys money. That's the bottom line. So we'll venture into the uncomfortable conversation of money for a second here. As long as we're getting some of these leads to convert, or some people to buy those supplements, it's going to easily cover your costs per month. I have no doubt about that. Most of that has nothing to do with Slick Text. It has more to do with the fact that your products cost probably a bit more than me getting a cheeseburger at McDonald's. Right? It's an entire 30-day supplement package. I'm guessing you'd probably buy supplements, just one bottle of supplements for 30 days, probably costs anywhere from $35 to $80, right?
Yeah.
Good. So if we get some people to start buying these supplements on a more regular basis, and you give them, say, like the mobile coupon, help track that that's going out, the mobile coupon helps favor us as well, because while it stops people from abusing offers on your end and helps track redemptions on your end, it helps provide Slick Text us with proof of concept to you that our service is working. Aside from people just saying, hey, we feel like it's working, so therefore it is, right? So hypothetically here, if let's say you had 1,000 people on your text list. You send out a generic offer, right? Non-diet related, non-program related, just in general. You want some supplements? Great, they're 25% off today. And you got the industry average of 8 to 15% to redeem it. Let's low end it at 8%. 8% of 1,000 people is about 80, right? If 80 people bought supplements at 25% off, what is the lowest cost supplement you guys have for 30 days?
Oh, geez.
20 bucks?
Yeah,
25?
something like that. Yeah.
We'll lowball it. Even if it's 25, we'll lower it to 20 because then we can be conservative with our money, right? So if it costs $25, or if it costs $20, they're getting it for 20 or 25% off. It's going to cost them $15, right? So 80 people redeeming it times $15 per person if they only bought the one item only instead of the cart load, which means on a text to 1,000 people, you guys would stand to make $1,200. And text to 1,000 people what that costs you in split text, not in addition to, but in of which you've already paid for. You get 3,600 texts per month. Well, 139 divided by 3,600 is 3.86 cents per text. Multiply that by 1,000. It costs you guys 38 bucks to send out that text message. Minus your costs for actually buying the product yourself and you work out the margins.
Right.
But, that's over $1,100 gain from a simple example of the lowest cost product bought at the lowest percentage rate.
Right. Right.
Right. Cool.
Yes. To be clear, you wouldn't get these same exact results from the local pizzeria. It has a lot to do with the fact that your products are going to cost a little bit more. They'll see the same redemption rates as you. They might even see a little bit higher because you can impulsively grab some lunch today. But their profit margins are way less, right? They're going to do the whole 2 slices and a drink for $6. How do you cut that price down? I mean,
Right.
It's already so low.
Right.
So that's why your ROI in ClickText will always be consistently high. It has a lot to do with your product and your services that you sell already.
Right. Right. Well, to be honest with you, the products, the supplements and things like that are what we do have control over. Whereas since we do accept insurance, we really can't, change those numbers. So the supplements are to get them in the door. And then, our reimbursement from insurance and things like that, that's where, we can kind of capitalize on that as well. So we definitely, I mean, that definitely is cost effective marketing by all means.
Oh, sure. I mean, I imagine if you guys on this plan side, if you didn't upgrade for the next year, hypothetically, my guess is if you got one person on the program every month, you probably made your money back.
Oh, yes. When you're talking reimbursement plus supplement sales and all that stuff, yes.
Yeah. That's my goal for you guys. One conversion a month.
Okay, so I have a couple questions. So I guess we need to figure out how we want to segment our list before we start to upload contacts, I'm assuming. Is that correct? Am I following you right? Yeah.
Best idea.
So Carrie, you and I probably need to chat about that. When I go to under the contacts tab and I go to upload, it says our request is under review. It gives me the option to switch to a dedicated number. What does that mean? Can you sort of explain that to me? You may have already said it. I apologize.
We half reviewed it. I mean, it was like a fly-by-night situation. You have access to our short code, right? But the short codes are really heavily regulated numbers. They're shared, which means there's a lot of businesses using 31996, and because of that, we let the smallest of small percentages upload anything on that short code. It's just not something we risk because a spam complaint could shut down our short code, which means you're shut down, a third of our business is shut down, and then you shut down thousands of businesses using our short code. So because of that, at least for your intro text, you guys will be on a dedicated number, which is a dedicated 10-digit number. The difference, there really isn't one. It does offer easier two-way communication. The send rate is technically slower on a 10-digit number. Now, while that sounds not good up front, you also don't share that send rate. So while you do have a fast send rate here on 31996, You send a text blast out at the same time as one of our other 1,000 customers, you're all sharing it anyway. The send rate's slow. You've seen it. You practice with it. It's very fast. But the send rate on a 10-digit number is 3 messages per second. So you've got 1,000 people, take you a couple minutes to get out your text blast. So pretty quick. Yep. So that would be the difference. We'll definitely have to move to a 10-digit number for at least the first text, maybe the first two, to gauge interest, because again, these people are expecting some content from you. They see you every week. Doesn't mean they're necessarily expecting specifically text messages, which is privatized industry. You know, of all the forms of communication, it's the most heavily scrutinized. So we'll gauge interest, and then we'll kind of take the next steps from there. I think you'll find you like the 10-digit number though, just because it can be localized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I think that's the only question I had. So it seems like we have some back work to do before.
Yes, definitely.
Before we can move forward.
Well, this is the most revealing of the training that I have received thus far. I talked with Blythe, and I've watched the videos and everything like that. But geez, you threw some things out there today that are real. I mean, wow, game changers.
Yeah, you know, I'm happy to help out with that. Stuff like this I actually enjoy doing the most. Here at Click Text, the mundane stuff is a little harder to get into. So this stuff is a bit more exciting for me.
Right.
But also, I've been at the company here for a while. I was the second hired employee, so I've got a little bit more under my belt than the people you'll talk to. And because of that, we can start implementing some of these feature manipulation that I'll talk about on the follow-up calls. There's actually more, believe it or not. And if you want to do any exploration, I won't fill up the sponge any more than I already have. But anything in our marketing tools is yours. We even have a loyalty program inside of Click Text. So every time they check in, boom, they get a reward point. After they check in 4 times, they can get some sort of a coupon, right? That's to help keep them on track, so to speak, along with, like, say, a text reminder for the appointment. Stuff like that. Text to win contest for lead gen and social media. Hey guys, Medi Weight Loss here, kicking off a VIP text list. Join today and you'll be entered for a chance to win one of our programs absolutely free.
But you know, Sean, this is something that really, I don't know, a switch just flipped in my head throughout this training today. You know, we have a Facebook page and Instagram and all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm sure it does do something to bring patients our way and so on and so forth. But you know, the research shows about how quickly people respond to a text and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, and we've got 20,000 patients in our practices. So, I mean, you know, this to me is so much more targeted and efficient that people are almost, for lack of a better way to put it, they are just led right to respond. Whereas all that other stuff is, you know, you're going out your elbow to get to your ankle, you know. So, I mean, you're taking the long way around.
I have to agree. And for me as a consumer myself, first off, I can honestly say, as odd as it might sound, I hate social media. I genuinely dislike social media. I don't like being on Facebook. I never even get on it, right? So if you friend me on there after this call, it's going to sit for a while. You'll catch me on LinkedIn faster. But that being said, there's a couple issues with social media. Number one, because of the algorithms on social media, you guys could dump $1,000 into the algorithm and reach a target audience of people who A, may or may not be interested, B, got on just in that moment to view the one notification they got through the push notification of Facebook, or C, your interested crowd would actually engage with it. But then you have to count on engaging through reading. They have to engage with your call to action. Join our text list. Share this with your friends. Like our post, right? So it's a longer process than people actually think to get somebody on social media to start converting. Whereas texting, you're right. I don't mean this to boast my industry, but I would say this about even our competitor. Pew Internet Research states that 95% of texts are open in the first 5 minutes alone. That number fluctuates from year to year, but it's consistently that high. I think a huge reason for that is because when it comes to a text message, you aren't responsible necessarily for like being engaged with the text. So it's very easy to just read it quickly. It's short. But like I almost feel like social media can be so burdensome because you can get one Facebook notification and that one, by the time you're done with your workday, is turning into 15.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like me, that's a work on the phone. I'm not checking it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
The text messages, there's going to be important stuff. There's going to be trash, right? Stuff that doesn't matter. But there's mostly all important stuff because we're privatized. So I know I'm doing a bit of a spiel here. Privatized industry means that if you're texting people, that means you're only texting people who specifically said, hey, Carrie, you text me when you've got something, right? So you know you're hitting your target audience. And B, or two, whichever one I was doing, easy opt-out. So you know how to get off your text list if you don't want the messages anymore. It's kind of hard to stop. How do you stop Facebook without stop Facebooking and stuff? You know what I mean?
No, I agree. This is far more efficient. I mean, and for lack of a better way to put it, Facebook's kind of, I won't say run its course exactly, but it is not the tool that it was a while back. And neither are some of the other things either. Instagram and what have you. That they are not, the sellers that they were before either. So they're not as mobile and for lack of a better way to put it, right now in the now compared to what this is. And if we hit people at the right time with this, like right now with the COVID quarantine 15 going on, I mean, we're going to hit them when they're most vulnerable and most likely to respond. So,
right. I mean, the only better time, if I was looking at the stock market chart, when you guys should have done this, it would have been when we got our stimulus check.
Oh,
we're not that far gone from it. Right?
Trust me, I had thought about that. Yeah, now even more so after today's conversation. Yeah.
But it's not a big deal because what you guys will be offering is still going to be well within the price range for most people. Also, if people are responding right now, you guys have that nicety in your personality where it's, well, let's give them some time because maybe things aren't good financially for these people. Maybe
Sure.
you got to work. Maybe you don't know. But while the unemployment rate is very, very high compared to where it's been in many years past, the employment rate is still significantly high. Right? We still have how many people employed? 80%, 85%. I mean, we're still doing good in terms of people who are making money.
Right.
And I imagine a good portion of people are going to be on your text list as well right now.
But you know what? We can reload this in January 1st, boatload it out, and then boom, now we hit another. All these people with their New Year's resolution phase of their, this has got to be the year I lose weight and stuff. I mean, this is, like I said, this is very applicable to, whatever time of the year. Oh, it's bikini season, and so on and so forth.
Right, absolutely. Another reason why I think Facebook's running its course is because it was developed for a generation that is getting older and caring less about doing sharing of media, right? I like funny things and memes as much as the next person, but I'm almost getting too old for that. The next generation is not Facebooking and Instagramming as much. They're all on TikTok. That's where everybody is right now. If you guys get into TikTok, I'm sure you can get a lot of ground, to be honest. But it requires some pretty significant, fancy footwork. Just as an example, again, I don't get into social media. My wife made me do a TikTok with her, and we got 3,000 views in a week.
Wow.
That's not a lot compared even to that industry. You know what we did? We did a voice. There was a sound in the background, and I just mouthed the word. That was it. 3,000 views, no problem. So the point is, on TikTok, you can make the front page in that thing almost no problem, and you will get tons of views. But you can also include, if I'm not mistaken, things like tags and links and stuff. So Instagram and TikTok are kind of where the younger generation are definitely sticking to, and Facebook, I don't want to say it's out, it's never going to go away, but it's not the social media gathering site.
No. It doesn't drive business the way it would have at one point, that's for sure.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, we'll cover a lot of that on the marketing strategy call. I mean, based on everything we've got here, and you guys might need some time to really develop a good game plan.
Agreed.
Don't short yourself off. If you need 2 weeks to get this up and running to really develop something, that's fine. We can also do a 45-minute call next week to take the first step, a 45-call minute the next week to finalize if you want to. That's fine, because I want to do it right instead of doing it fast.
Oh, yeah. Agreed. Yes.
And are we going to be are we going to be scheduling this with you, Sean? Since
Yeah,
that you were a lot more informative than others.
Yeah. I've learned so much more in this hour and 18 minutes than I had before. Yes.
Perfect. I'll tell Blythe all about that. Hey, they like you so much better.
Don't get even try. Hey, it was probably who he was working with, to be honest with you. I was so down here on the knowledge scale that it took a lot just to get me to the surface of the water. So.
Right. Perfect. Well, hey, we're going to keep going, though. We'll keep swimming further. But let's get you booked in for a call next week. Like I said, I'll give you ample time because a lot of the next steps, so to speak, right now, I'll admit, are heavily dependent on you guys.
Agreed.
What content do you want? How do you want it to go out? What do you want your programs to say? What offers do you want to do? When do you want to do the offers, right? Just a bunch of stuff to think about. Just formulate an idea for one program. You don't have to do all of them because once you do one, it's just copy and paste of everything else with different content. One program, 30 days, what offers do you want to send out to these people? We'll get that scheduled up, and then we'll worry about leads and all those other people and stuff on another time. But I think for now, it sounds like the program one is where you guys want to start. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
And if you change, the next call, if you change, hey, I'd rather do lead gen first, just let me know at the beginning of that call and bring me your material. It doesn't matter to me either way.
Okay. All right, sounds good. We've got our marching orders now. Thank you.
Perfect. Let's get you booked in for a call next week here and see what's going on. I have, which times are you guys in? Central, right?
No. Eastern.
Eastern.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Me too. Make sure it's up to date.
If we can shoot for around a 1 o'clock time frame, that would be great for me.
Hey, that is fine. That is fine by me.
Sorry.
I will make it work. That's okay too.
Or even like a 12:30, 1 o'clock, something like that.
I've got a 1 to 2 on Wednesday. It gives you guys exactly a week to get the game plan up and running.
This Monday, the 12th.
No.
Next Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Sorry. That works for me. Does that work for you?
Hey, that's perfect. I will make it work.
Okay. Sounds
Awesome.
good.
All right. Both in right now. You both have separate emails, correct? Because the only one on this call was WD Needs.
Yeah, that's my email.
Carrie, what's the email?
I'll give you my Medi weight loss one. It's KB as in boy ARNARD K Bernard at, and get ready to work out your thumbs here. Medi MEDI weight WEIGHT loss LOSS clinics with an S CLINICS.com. MediWeightLossClinics.com.
Perfect. Okay, so KBARNARD at MediWeightLossClinics.com.
Correct.
I'm used to typing it because we have so many Medi weight loss groups, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I've got you guys booked in for next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So just bring your game plan. We may upload contacts at the time. My goal is to upload them. My goal is really to make sure that your plan or that your the functionality and messages are going out are key first. Because once you upload, they're going to run.
Right?
Based on whatever we do, we can make it now run as well. But if we want it to run, they're going to run right after we get the upload. So key is to get the development set up first, and then we'll work on the rest.
Wow.
Any other questions for today, teacher?
No. Thank you for this. It was most helpful.
Yeah, awesome. I'm really glad to hear it. Both of you enjoy your day. Enjoy the baby. I've got a 3 and 4-year-old. I totally get it. Right? I've just out of that stage. So I totally get it. But enjoy the rest of your day, guys. We will talk to you next week.
Hey, sounds good. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thanks so much.
And Wendy, thank you for cutting me in on this too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll email you to figure out when we can get together.
Sounds good. All right.
Okay, cool. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.